There's something happening on YouTube now where you have to like click the bell next to the subscribe. If you want to be part of the squad, press the bell button because you don't want to miss anything that's finna happen in 2017. These videos get too real.
Quick disclaimers, the washing machine is on. If you hear washing machine, sadly we live in a house where we have to wash clothes. What do you think about friends with benefits? Please excuse the ashiness of my eyebrows. We all know it's going to get fixed, so I don't need to talk too much.
If you have me on Snapchat, then you know that I recently put up a snap saying I was going to do a chit chat get ready with me, and I was going to make it a Q&A. So you guys sent me in your questions because I've noticed that you guys love chit chat get ready with me's. I love chit chat get ready with me's. Let's make this thing happen, innit? Let go.
I have to find my phone first. Here it is.
The first question is, do you think long distance relationships can work, and would you get into one? Would I get into one? I have been in one before. It was interesting. I think, yes, I do think that they can work, but I think it takes a specific sort of situation, a specific sort of person, a specific sort of environment. I think if you're the sort of person who gets jealous easily, or if you're the sort of person who constantly needs, what do you call it? Like physical touch, or like to be in each other's physical presence all the time. Obviously long distance relationships might not work for you unless you're willing to put in the effort to, you know, travel all the time, and they're willing to put in the effort to travel all the time. However, what's that? However, I do know people who are in long distance relationships and they make it work because they want to make it work, and it turns out beautifully. So I think it depends on the person, it depends on the situation. I was in one and it worked for me because there was a good level of trust and understanding there, and I'm also not the sort of person who, if I'm in a relationship, I don't need to see you all the time. I don't need to, like, I'm one of those people who likes space. So it worked for me. I don't see why it can't. Well, I can see why it can't work. What advice would you give a 16-year-old? What advice would I give a 16? Okay, I have a video on my channel with Amani, and it's called "What Would We Tell Our Younger Selves?" I think you should watch it. But essentially, if I had to tell myself one thing, it would probably be, don't worry if people don't get you now because you're not trying to impress them. At the end of the day, like when I was 16, let me tell you a story. Like when I was 16, I was quite mature for my age. You know, whenever I'd get into friendships or whenever I'd get into a relationship, or the way I would approach certain things came from quite a mature place. Excuse this right here, I don't know where it came from, I don't know what it's doing, but boy, this spot better go somewhere. But yeah, like I used to do everything from quite a mature place, and for a lot of people, they didn't understand that, they didn't get that. For a lot of people, that was weird. Like, you're meant to be young, you're meant to be having fun, but my approach, my mindset was, everything I did was intentional. Everything that I did was from a mature place and out of a place of maturity. And at 16, I was around a lot of immature people and they didn't get me, and it used to make me feel bad. It used to make me feel really different in a very negative way. But now I tell myself, like, listen, yo, at the end of the day, you're gonna be winning. So no, but on a serious level, I would just tell myself, you know, don't worry if people don't understand you now, because you're really not trying to impress them, because, well, like I said, you turn out winning anyway. Ideally, would you marry a Ghanaian, or do you have any other ethnicity you wouldn't mind? I would ideally marry a Ghanaian. 100%, I would ideally marry a Ghanaian because I love my culture, I love my people, I love my language, I love my food, I love being Ghanaian, like, to the fullest part of me. And I would want that to be, because that is such a big part of me, it's something that I want to share with somebody else, and it's a big part of my identity. And if I was with someone who wasn't Ghanaian, it would require me every day to kind of explain to them loads of things, and I'm quite an impatient person. I'm not here for it. But I'm not opposed to, you know, being with anyone. I think I could fall in love with anybody, to be honest, but ideally I would marry a Ghanaian. When was the last time you went to Ghana? The last time I went to Ghana was December 2018. 2015 and I came back January 1st, 2016. So yeah. What area in London are you from? North London girl, brap brap. Nah, yeah, I'm from North London, and yeah, nah, I'm a North London girl through and through, pure. That's right. Anyways, next question. How do you keep motivated when it comes to revising? Because the struggle is real. The struggle really and truly, honestly, is real. How do I keep motivated? Although I find it kind of hard to admit this, I am kind of scared to fail. I can procrastinate to the life of me. I can be lazy. Trust me, I am, you know, a big member. A VIP member of team procrastination. But oh, I've still got foundation on the back of my hand. But when it comes down to it, I'm very, very scared of failure. I'm very scared of letting my parents down. I'm very scared of not even just my parents, but letting myself down. I know the sort of life that I want, and when it comes to doing certain things, whether it be revising or going to work or editing or going to certain meetings or responding to certain emails or having to write long essays, when it comes to those sort of things, I know that they're going to get me far. I have to do them if I'm trying to get to where I want to be, and if I want to have the life that I want to have for my kids, if I want to have the life that I want to have for myself and my own mental well-being. So yeah, that keeps me pretty determined and motivated, but the struggle is truly real. Trust me, I'm not always good at it. What can you do to make yourself emotionally stronger and not care about what other people think about you? This is something that I myself over the year 2016 was trying to really accomplish. Would I say I've achieved it? I'm not too sure. So basically, the art to becoming carefree, but I would say understand yourself and value what you bring to the table. Once you start to, where's my beauty blender?
Why does this always happen to me? I need something and... Where is it? I just had it. What's wrong with it? Oh, it's here.
Yes, so like I was saying, I personally think the way to become carefree or to become more confident or emotionally stable is to really know the value of what you're bringing to the table. When you know what you're good at and when you own what you're good at, whether it be looking nice on a superficial level or on a materialistic level, knowing that you've got money, or on a deeper level, knowing that you're intelligent, or knowing that, you know, you're wise, or knowing that you're humble, things like that. Once you own it, once you know that that is a very valuable quality you have, no matter what other people say, you know the value inside of you, and you don't really care about what anyone has to say anymore, because you understand you value you. And I think it all links back to confidence. And once your confidence is secure, and when you're no longer insecure, you become emotionally stable. You know, when people's words don't define you anymore, because I think for a lot of people, other people's opinion of them, other people's view of them, where they are in life or who they are, but the truth is, when you define yourself, when you decide when you're good enough, when you decide when you're far enough, when you are the one who decides how successful you are, nobody's words matter to you anymore. Nobody determines how you should feel, because it's all down to you. And that for me is a big... See, now I've waited so long, my concealer is dry. Like, nobody can make you feel insecure when that's the case. So, hey Courtney, wanted to ask, when did you start becoming a woman of God and focusing on your faith? Also, have you already been baptized in water, and when was it? First question, when did I start becoming a woman of God? I officially gave my life to Christ on the 16th of November 2015. I was raised knowing like who God was and stuff, but going to church wasn't imposed on me. I was brought up in the Catholic Church. I've been baptized, communed, or christened, communed, and confirmed. So raised in the Catholic Church, but I officially like gave my life to Christ, as in I'm gonna change my lifestyle now. I'm gonna not just change my lifestyle, I say it like it's that sort of thing, but you know, I'm really living for you now. 16th of November 2015. I have not been water baptized since then, and it's something that I do want to do. I'm not going to talk too much about it because that's quite a personal thing for me, but it is something that I want to do. It's hopefully something I will get to do soon. But yeah, that's when I started to become God-fearing. If you want to know why I gave my life to Christ, I might make a video on that, like on my Christian journey and stuff. So let me know if you want to see that down below. Can you This question made me laugh. Can you tell us about your previous boyfriends? You know what's so funny? It seems like my exes are more popular on this channel than I am. Mainly my fault because I mentioned them a lot because they taught me a lot, but I've had my fair share. And please know that when I talk about these sorts of things, when I mention exes, when I mention my past life, another life, I mention them not because I'm proud of it, not because, you know, I'm trying to, you know, throw it out there that, oh, I used to be reckless, I used to be a rebel, I used to do this, that, and I've had this many boyfriends. I throw it out there to let people know that I have a past. One thing I pride myself on is to be relatable. I'm not going to come onto this channel, my space, something that I've created around me as a human being, and erase some parts of my life out of it and just create a fictional character. At the end of the day, all those boys that were in my life, in my past, all have contributed to the sort of person who I am now. Not because they built me up, but essentially because many of them tore me down and I had to build myself up from that. You know, I've had, this is all leading to me answering the question, I've had guys who have told me on a daily basis that you're not good enough. I've had guys tell me on a daily basis that, you know, you're not worth me coming to see you, you're not worth me loving you, you're not worth being the only one that I'm with. I've had other guys who have, you know, raised me up, but they've, and when I say raised me up, I mean they've like empowered me and they've given me the compliments and they've said the nice words, but their actions just prove that they're but their actions just prove that their words were like sweet nothings. I've had other guys who have, you know, used me just for my body and I let myself be used. And all of those people taught me something. So yeah, that's a bit about my previous endeavors in life. I really want to start a YouTube channel, but I'm worried I would be doing something outside of God's will. Sometimes when I start getting video ideas, I feel that I shouldn't. How do I know if it's God or I'm doubting myself? One second, I'm getting my translucent powder.
Why can I never be prepared? Just simple, common preparation. I'm here mid-filming looking for stupid translucent powder.
I think you never want to do something prematurely. You never want to do something kind of when God hasn't given it a seal of approval if you are doing it in God's name. So like with me on my channel, if I'm going to do a video, especially if I'm talking like this, if I'm giving advice, if I'm motivating, if I'm, you know, not necessarily my beauty videos, but when I do things like this, I have to pray about it before. I have to know if God wants me to do that video in that moment, especially if you're going to share something. I think it's different if you're doing it like you're singing or you're well, actually no, it goes for all things. When you put your God's name on something, you have to realize that like God is Alpha and Omega. If he's not in the beginning, he's not going to give you a victorious end. You have to pray that God gives you the heart for certain videos. I know that there are some videos which it comes to my mind like, oh, this is such a great video, like I should record it, it's going to help so many people. I record the video and while I'm editing it, I'm like, this video is rubbish. Like it's not rubbish because what I'm saying is wrong, but I'm not feeling it. I'm even watching myself and I'm not emotionally connected by what I myself am saying. And sometimes I'll go, you know, to sleep in the evening and I'll pray about it and God will tell me, because you still have more to learn, your heart is not in the right place to make such a video, so the video never comes out. I think that that's a big part of your journey, whether on YouTube, in ministry, in a particular job. Every step you take has to be, you know, God checked. And my advice to you would be, if you're gonna make a video, pray about it, and I mean like really pray about it, and get closer to God so that you can hear what he has to say about the situation, about the video, about your idea. That will allow you to not only create videos which he is pleased with, but create videos which are just amazing and touch so many people's lives and so many souls. Next question is, what do you think about friends with benefits? What do I think about friends with benefits? Trash. I do not agree with friends with benefits. I personally do not believe that you could be with someone just call them a friend, but you're having sex with them. Just because sex is a very big emotional bond and tie with someone. I know a lot of people can have casual sex, but I personally think that that's leaving a bit of yourself in somebody, with somebody. And if you're doing that with somebody, then you have to see on a daily basis, or you share a different sort of, maybe a platonic, well, definitely a platonic relationship with, where you're just friends. Those emotions can get deepened, those feelings can get deepened by having sex. And I think one person, or maybe even two people, always come out scarred, especially if one of the parties is not looking for a long-term relationship, and then all of a sudden someone is hurt, somebody's feelings are really, really hurt because you just want to be friends with benefits. And we always see it happen down the line. Initially, both parties are fine with it, they're just having a bit of fun. Later down the line, the boy or the girl gets hurt because they want to take it further. The other person just sees them as a little bit of fun. And no one, at the end of the day, let's be real, if we're really going to be real, no one just wants to be someone's bit of fun forever. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, initially it might be fun, exciting, woo, yay, you know, we're sneaking around, but nobody wants that forever. That's my thoughts on that. I personally would never be in such a situation, because boy, I know how my heart gets, and when I get in my feelings, boy. So what motivates you to keep your faith strong when you are lacking in belief? There are many days where I have a lot of doubts about the ventures which I want to do, in, you know, the plans that God has told me he has for me. And I have many doubts if God is going to bring me through particular situations. I'm not going to lie to you. The way that I keep faith is, one, I always cast my mind back to the things God has brought me through. I know my story is something I've never really shared on my channel, just because I'm not ready. But oh, you guys can see my ears. I never really showed my ears. Mad thing. Let me show them today actually. I've been liking them a bit lately. Yeah, just because I mean, I don't think I'm ready yet, but I will be soon, and you guys will hear about it. I have to cast my mind back to what God has brought me through, the things which he's already done for me. And when I think about those times, almost about 99% of the time my faith gets restored, because for God to have done the things he's done in the past, I can't doubt him. I guess the other 1% is kind of solved when I read the Bible, when I read about the stories and I really meditate on the stories. When I learn about other people's stories as well, you know, I really do feed off testimony, and I'm a big believer in, if God could do it for them, then he could do it for me. That helps me keep my faith strong when I don't have, you know, a lot of belief. And also, a good way to keep your faith strong if you don't believe in yourself is to know that it's not about you, it's not about what's within you. I think a lot of the time when we embark on new journeys, on new ventures, on new ideas, we start to doubt God, because we think, God, I don't have enough money, I don't have the strength, I don't have the intelligence, I don't have the environment, I don't have the provisions to do what you're telling me to do. And then we start to doubt, and we start to lack in faith. But the truth is, it's not about what you have, it's not about your strength, it's not about your money, it's about God. And if God says that this is the vision, he will make the provision for it. And I constantly tell myself that, and when I do, things usually turn out fine. Could you do a video on abstinence? Somebody else in a couple videos back commented asking me about my view on sex before marriage. I'm gonna answer it briefly in this chit chat, get ready with me, because I know you guys are watching, like, what you gonna say? I do not believe in sex before marriage, not just for biblical reasons. I believe that sex before marriage is dangerous because it leads to many destructive paths. We're gonna leave it there. I'm gonna do a whole video about it. So yeah, that's my view on abstinence. Abstain. How do you manage to maintain a close relationship with God, and what keeps you focused? I've kind of answered the what keeps you focused in my how do I stay motivated question, but how do I manage to maintain a close relationship with God? My relationship with God is not always close. I think a lot of the time people can presume that when you're on social media and, you know, you talk about Jesus, or when you minister, or when you're a gospel singer or whatever, that your relationship with God is always like that. And I'll be the first one to let you know, sometimes I flake out. Sometimes I don't read as often as I should. Sometimes I don't worship as much as I should or as much as I could. And I'm not proud of that, but let's be real, I'm a human being who's trying to become perfect. I'm not an advocate for just relying on any excuse. I should do better, but my relationship with God is not always on fleek. But when it is, usually what I've done, or when I'm trying to get back to a place where it's healthy, and when I feel, you know, just so butterflies in my stomach, I read the Bible consistently. And I'm not just talking about I read, I close, I just say, God, thank you for your word, and I leave. I'm usually led to a chapter, but I read it, and it usually applies to my situation, and I meditate on it and I journal about it, I annotate, I do all these things. I talk to myself, I talk to God, like I really let the Spirit flow through me. And I think that willingness allows me to be in a close relationship with God. I think, like any relationship, when you go in giving the other person a voice to let you understand them, and let them tell you about themselves. You don't just go in with your own intentions and your own thoughts and your own ideas. You don't just go in with, okay, I'm going to read your word and you're going to say this, and this is how I'm going to feel afterwards. Thank you, Lord, for your goodness. Good night. It's a real relationship, and that for me is what keeps my relationship ignited with God, because I see and this kind of goes back to why baptism is a big thing for me, because for me it does symbolize a marriage between God and I. And it's not that I'm like afraid to make that commitment, but I see my relationship with God as one of the best relationships I've ever had. He's like my first love, my first true love. And that, you know, sometimes the fire does dim. I'm not gonna lie, but to get it reignited, I have to spend more time with, I have to allow him to show me new sides of him, which suddenly I become more interested about. And God is multifaceted, don't get it twisted. There is never a time when you're fully gonna be able to understand God in his wholeness. And like when I read, I learn new pieces about him, I learn new things about him, new qualities about him, new things which he could teach me, and the way he wants to love me. And that makes me interested, and that ignites the fire in our relationship again. What was the hardest thing about transitioning to uni life? I wouldn't say the freedom, and I find it so hard to speak. I know a lot of people say the freedom. For me, it wasn't, because I've always kind of had a good level of independence in my life. The hardest part about transitioning into uni life was meeting new people and being surrounded by all new people. I didn't go to uni with anybody who I knew. I wasn't near anyone who I knew. So it meant I had to change my whole entire circle. And as much as I'm an extroverted person, like, I'm quite scared that people won't like me. I'm just gonna be real. Luckily for me, a lot of people actually do like me. And it's only recently that I've realized I'm actually a very likable person. Not to toot my own horn, toot, but no, on a real. Yeah, like I was scared. I was really scared about that, because I mean, you don't want to go somewhere your family's not about, the people who get you are not around you, and now the people you've met who you've got to make friends with don't like you. Like, that's the worst. So that was a hard thing for me, but it didn't prove to be as hard as I thought it would be. What is your 5-year goal? No, I'm joking. I will graduate with a first in Jesus' name. I want to pass my driving test. I really want to get on the road. I want to move to Ghana. Well, not move like wholly, but I want to kind of be there for maybe like half of the year and then spend the other half of the year in London. What else? What do I see myself being in 5 years? Hopefully by then, in Jesus' name, I will have a man. But yeah, to be honest, as for the man thing, I might make another video on this as well, but I'm not really looking. I'm just thinking in 5 years, how old will I be? Almost 25. Yeah, hopefully I have a boyfriend who is on his way to becoming my fiance, and then my husband. I want to have bought a home by then. I know it's a big one, like that's a big goal, but that's one of the things that I really want to do. And I'm hoping I'll be able to do it Career wise, a lot of you guys have been wondering what I want to do with my career, you know, but career wise, okay, let's just say the industry which I'm working in now, which is like business development for a beauty company, beauty startup, whoop whoop whoop, shout out to All Shades Covered, I'll link the website down below. I want to have climbed up the ranks there, if my boss is watching. Yeah, no, I want to have done that, or I want to have, you know, just grown in the beauty industry, not just as a face or not just as an MUA, but really on the business and the business side of things. So that's what I want to be doing, and I'm speaking into existence. Is there a difference between lying and keeping quiet? Ooh, all these morality questions. Yes, there is a difference between lying and keeping quiet. There are two very different actions. However, the magnitude of the consequence can be the same depending on the situation. So it depends on the situation, to be honest. Advice you'd give your 16-year-old self. I've already answered that. Does social media harm us more than it helps us? It can, in the right hands, it helps us more than it harms us. In the wrong hands, it harms us more than it helps. What's your favorite color? Right now, it is grey. I don't know if you're seeing, but right now it's grey. It's grey and all these neutral colors. I'm loving it. I'm really loving that. Who's my favorite YouTuber? I don't have one favorite YouTuber. The one YouTuber I've been binging on lately is Casey Neistat. Ever since he ended, I never knew, okay, crime alert, I never knew who Casey Neistat was. I'm not a big vlog watcher. Ever since Casey Neistat finished the vlog, I checked him out. I am obsessed. So I've been watching a lot of Casey recently. But I have a lot of favourite YouTubers. I mean, I can't go without mentioning my girls. Kai McDermott, Nissy T, Sarah Secret, Amani Shola and Kika AJ. And Lizzie Loves, love her. I mean, if I've got a video called Every Black Girl Has a YouTube Channel. If you go and watch that, I list a whole bunch of names at the end of the video of people you should check out. They're all my favourites because they're all my sisters. Travel plans, do I have any travel plans? Stay tuned for 2017 because bruh, I'm finna go global. I'm finna go global, worldwide, baby. In Jesus' name I pray. Next year I will get to go to Ghana in December. I want to go to New York. I will probably go to Morocco, God willing. Where else will I go to? I want to go somewhere in Europe. I mean, I've got to get my passport sorted out right now because it's expired, but yeah, I really want to travel. I really do love traveling, and now that I'm a lot older and I can do it by myself and I've got, you know, a little bit coin on me, so I can actually buy a ticket. I really want to take advantage of it. So like I said, 2017 we're going global. But yeah guys, that's the end of the Q&A. Yeah, that's the end of the Q&A. I've talked a lot, like a lot. I'm sorry if this video was long. I'm gonna edit it so that it's a bit shorter, but listen, I love you, you guys love me, so why don't we spend a little bit of quality time together? So yeah guys, I just want to say thank you so much for rocking with me this year. I think after this there'll be one more video and then we're going to enter 2017. 2017 is finna be lit, so stay tuned, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.